This problem now. So I'll call this agenda meeting to order for July 18th, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Terry Finley. Oh, you'll lead it. Thanks, Terry.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I will note to everyone on call that we have, for the board members, we have everybody present except for Councilmember Rudolph, who is necessarily absent today. Kristen, was the meeting for today properly advertised?
Yes, it was.
Perfect. Anybody like to speak for privilege of the floor? All right. Sue wants to speak, but not, Sue wants to say a lot of things. It was not a great last couple of days, that's for sure. We do have 3 public hearings we have 1 presentation, Uptown Landing. And I did the math. I know there was discussion going back and forth about the agenda and the size of the agenda. Without the Uptown Landing report was 422 pages. They did an extremely thorough report that they won't be going through the entire report because they don't have enough time. They'll be giving us an overview, but hearing some of the feedback, that's something that definitely, going forward, but we need to start looking at. Does that need to, can we pull that somewhere? Can we put that as a separate file? Can we start referencing some of these on the website? Because we had some huge ones. We had Mays Landing, which was 72 pages. So that's something to look at and see, and we can go through that, but this one was an anomaly with that one. I haven't seen a report that thorough in a long time.
I just wanted to tell you, that was one of the ones Sarah talked to us about. It originally had 250 some pages just on that attachment alone. She reduced it to 33. So
Yeah.
the updated agenda is
Right,
much smaller.
yeah. So the updated one, I noticed that it's down some. So Uptown Landing will be presenting, and then we have 3 public hearings that are coming up. The charter one is a redo because we didn't get shared enough of the correct verbiage. There are some specific words they have to have in there. Otherwise, the SEC will not, or the FCC, whichever one it is, will not approve it. So they had to go back and do that. So that'll be just a quick thing. We do have our continuing resolution, 184. We should have some survey results back. I hit about 60 businesses, 60 to 65 in the last 3 days. And we did get some survey responses, 2, that's it. Okay, that makes me feel good for knocking and hitting and seeing, but yeah, during the tornado for part of it, but we'll see what happens, what we get back from that.
What did your individual survey of the 60 businesses show you?
We don't have it. We have two results back yet. We haven't looked at those yet. We're hoping to get them.
Did you do door knocking?
I did. I went door to door.
And what was your finding?
A lot of people weren't aware. I think I had 1, 2, probably about 4 4 to 5 were very aware and very interested in what was going on. We did not have enough time. A lot of the people that I spoke with were, because a lot of the places we have there, they were shop managers. They might have been a general manager, a regional manager. And they didn't have as strong opinions as say the business owner might have in that area. I didn't get an overwhelming, yes, we love what's happening. No, we don't love what's happening. The only thing that everybody knew about was when I mentioned the sidewalk sweeping. I said, that's what the bid, they're like, oh, that's what that was. So that's the only common thing that they came back with was the sidewalk sweeping.
Well, that's the only thing that.
That's the only thing that's happened and the only thing that we've done. So,
So it's a lack of awareness that
it's a lack of awareness. It wasn't as overwhelming. I was hoping to have I had detailed discussions probably with about 4 or 5 people. Like good in depth, and some of them were half an hour, 45 minutes. Good discussion, sit down and have those talks.
Were they people though that would be the bid
That would be, that was,
Like they.
yeah, that was Rick, that was
They could
Kep,
answer for the business.
yeah, that was Kepner's. You know, that was Kepner's, that was, I didn't get to Charlie May, but that was Kepner's, that was Jeff Hansford, that was the people who were actually there day to day, which is the challenge with
Well,
this.
that's what you want.
And we have absentee, you walk in Parkside Greens and you have a lot of businesses in there, but it's so small and it's so fragmented. And I don't know if they have time, but we'll see what comes back. We'll see if we have anything. But we'll definitely need to follow up with more outreach.
The last time these people heard about bid was years ago.
I know. Yeah,
People come
So-
and go too, so.
but here's the thing, I mean, I support continuing just to take the next step and try to bring more people in.
I can't.
But if we don't support it, then we can recraft it when we have more people and more bid output and more bid input. We can do that as well.
I have a hard time supporting this. In general, it goes against all the principles that I believe in. I mean, I can't see us taxing people on the if come. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Mhm.
And it just doesn't sit well with me.
But this doesn't get rid of the bid though, this resolution.
I understand, but it solidifies it that much more.
Mhm.
And I think by us solidifying it, it's basically accepting the fact that we have it and the fact that we're gonna continue to move
Correct.
forward with it. And I don't support that
Okay.
at all. And I think your
My survey,
survey even confirms that, really. I mean, people don't even know it exists.
Mike Bentley was very outspoken in favor of it, because he is right there now too. He's right on the corner. Ray Sands Motion Junction.
Yeah.
He put in the Ray Sands flats
yeah.
where Heritage was.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I totally get those concerns and I totally understand on that side. It might, if we vote this down, it doesn't mean it can't come back up again in a different form once we have more information
what I
from the
think.
business
That's
owners.
exactly the way I
Yeah.
feel, Jared.
We're
So-
trying to get it,
And I'm okay with taking that step.
trying to get it all done in a week. It's huge, people need time to think about it.
Right.
and Learn more about it.
Yeah.
That's why I advocated that we have, that meeting we had up at the administration center years ago.
Yeah.
Another meeting like that where people can see each other and see
Mhm.
what their reactions are. You might get a better.
That might be the next step.
feeling, you know, I mean, I could see just, I mean, we gotta act on this.
Yeah.
Next Monday, but I could see even continue. Pull them all together and see what, you know,
Right.
once and for all, you put a knife in it or.
Well, we don't have,
you know.
you say we have to act on it, Terry. That doesn't mean we have to pass it.
No,
We
no,
can go-
no,
We can
no.
go and vote it down
Yeah, act
and bring
on
it back later on.
And we could bring it back later on after that
No,
meeting.
I just mean we have to
Yeah.
take action. on it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Finance resolutions, we have a couple of them. Jess, do you wanna? We just have,
I did put in, a new, an amended resolution, for the salary increase for the senior, highway. Just
okay,
to, you know, get the funds from a more, appropriate place,
perfect. And then we just had a couple,
just your regular budget transfer of the town supervisor.
yeah, we just only had a couple there to shore up some balances.
Mhm.
As far as ordinance,
Farm labor housing is the only one, really.
farm labor housing is on that one.
Mhm.
And then we're setting a public hearing to override the tax cap levy limit, which is standard procedure. It just protects us in case we can't.
Can we go back to farm labor? In essence, what are we doing here?
We're imposing really the New York State code and just solidifying that, taking away a special use permit that was in our code. So we're just coming into line with what the state mandates from that standpoint.
And making ours less restrictive.
Less restrictive, right?
Adding into several zoning districts,
Right.
the
the ability to put farm labor housing in.
And helping, and it does help some of the. You know, the Nopes have already fought, but it will help, right, those going further. I'll just go through these kind of quickly. If anybody has any questions, we have a lot of economic development and general ones. 189 is full-time clerk appointment, then we have seasonal employees. 191 is appointing John Falbo. He will be here. I do have to call him later today. He has to call, but he'll be here at the meeting because he wants to thank everybody and be part of that. So he will be there Monday night. Transfer station operation resignation. 193 amendments to the 2024 fee schedule.
What was modified there?
I've got to look back at that. I
It
can't.
looks like the
Motion.
credit card processing fee was increased to 3%.
That was it.
Did we
And
bump up?
we're renting out Motion Junction
Yeah,
now,
right.
so that's been added to the fee schedule. And we increased our parks credit card fees by 0.5% simply because the town is losing money. We're actually contributing to the fees that people are paying. They're not paying enough, right, to the credit card
Yeah.
processing company. We're getting charged more than we're collecting.
So that's revenue neutral now,
Yeah.
right, with the credit card?
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be neutral, but it's gonna help a little bit better, and then I'm gonna look at more reports in a few
Yeah,
months.
and see where we need to adjust it because we can't be.
We should just keep adjusting that.
We
till
needed
get
to adjust it till we get
Yeah,
to
till
neutral.
it's new, till it is neutral.
Sorry, I'm, okay.
194.
194 is the local law to increase salary of the highway superintendent. 195 is authorizing,
Let's go back to 194.
yep,
About, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th bullet. The way I read that says that you're gonna increase Jim Fletcher's salary for the remainder of the year by $15,000. So in other words, that's saying to me that you're increasing, he's gonna be compensated an extra $15,000 from now through December 31st. And I don't think that's what you want to say.
yeah, let me look at that.
Well, it looks like it was active as of May, I believe, I read that. Somewhere, maybe it was the old one.
You're on the local law,
I am on
194,
194.
one, first, second, third,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th bullet.
the town law. Okay, because I didn't write this one. I don't think I think this might have been.
No, this is the same as it was the last time, only the amount is
And I
adjusted.
brought that up at the last time we talked about this as well. It says for the remainder of the fiscal year, you're increasing it by $15,000. I don't think that's what we
No.
want
Well,
to
it's
say.
gotta be prorated.
Right,
That's right.
okay,
In the other resolution, it may have the May date. This is the local law one, and then there's the other one where you actually approve the increase.
But you're
Let me
just,
check.
the point is to increase from 60 to 75 for the entire year, right? Like an annual salary, and that's not the way it reads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
Could
think
say, to increase the salary of the elected Fletcher,
by 15,000 per year.
yeah, from an annual salary of 60,000 to 75.
Yes.
for the remainder of the fiscal year, okay,
So yeah, that for the remainder of the year should be taken out, if that's what you need, if you are changing his annual compensation from 60 to 70. And we wouldn't have to increase that line by 15,000, it's going to be
it would not,
whatever the calculated amount.
It's
or-
gonna be-
50%.
it's gonna be that prorated amount.
What number is this?
This is 194. So amend the 7th whereas. And amend
The 8th one.
the 8th whereas.
You could just leave out the amount, I would say, because I think there's the next one at the top about
Mhm.
You take that out, that,
Yeah, the 8th whereas I would just take out, or you could just say, you know,
Just take it out.
recommending a budget line increase for this line, but I think if you're gonna do a budget amendment resolution, you might as well leave.
We'll just leave it out. And then
So-
195 is
Then
those
it'll have to
lines.
be adjusted to
Right.
Whatever.
It's not in, yes, it's not increasing 15,000.
Right.
Some portion of that.
So
August,
The start date's August, what, 12th or something like that?
I don't know.
no, that's for John. That's for
Oh,
Falbo.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
I believe the next resolution says May 1st.
They effective May 1st.
At one point it did.
It did, but it's out now.
Oh,
I didn't, and I didn't,
For the remainder of the year.
yeah.
Would be August.
Wait, per employment agreement dated 20, no, that's just his date of his employment.
So it's 5 months. So it would be 7,500. Would be 6 months worth.
Yeah, you could just,
should it say a date?
I would feel like it would say a date unless the date of the resolution is the date of the increase.
Okay.
Or the approval.
We could always put it in effect in August 1st. Something
Yeah,
like that,
whatever you guys.
Okay.
to complicate the matter.
To make it more complicated.
Right,
August-
wait, when does payroll?
August 15th, okay.
That's what going to.
That's right, I was gonna say, probably the beginning of a pay period would be great.
Okay.
For Lindsay.
All right, so we good with that? We'll have those switched. We'll try to switch those before. So then the resolution will be amended already, so we don't have to make the amendments to it during the meeting. Fair enough? So we'll make those changes.
So what do you do with that, like by your rules and regulations?
Well, I mean, we are outside of that, but we could make a formal motion to amend it. But we still have, I mean, we're still within state law of the agenda and when it was posted and when it's out there.
Okay.
And the meeting, the one that we hand out at the meeting will be updated. So I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
And we're recorded here.
By law, we do not have to give the attachments to the public that far in advance. We only have to give them the agenda.
Yeah,
So if we update the agenda on our side and then update it on the website, we're doing more than enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
You send those to me today. I can see.
good deal. Okay, 195 is another significant one that ate up some space, was the acceptance of the maintenance bond for Mays Landing. There are several for Mays Landing.
196, that is.
190.
Resolution.
There's a-
Oh, it's a duplicate 195,
Right,
yeah. So
No. not on mine.
I pulled mine up from the website.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Mays Landing is right next to the hammocks. It's on Bristol Road and it is, the drawing's in there, but it's those 12. It's that area right there. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Yep, which is not gonna be as affordable as people thought. My brother looked at them and they're in the 400s.
What is it?
I know,
Anything new?
but they're modular, so that was the hope that. I know that they would have been,
So they're at 400, not 500.
yeah,
Well,
right,
I think to the point that was made today by people, our guests, right? New norm is different.
Yeah.
the new norm is different. It is.
That was the message, right?
Yeah, if they're a stick built, they'd be 700.
Just use little smaller sticks. When,
I'm telling you right now, just FYI, you cannot build a house for less than $300 a square foot.
which is 4 years ago, it
Yeah.
was 120.
You might be able to get down to 250, but you've gotta really skimp and save. You know, or you gotta have a lot of repetition to drive the cost, like they were saying today, right? I mean, cost, a lot of the cost is the site working infrastructure. So if you can share that across
Yeah,
100 units versus 1 unit, it makes a big difference.
100%. Well, that's what hopefully our presentation Monday will help with that too. Okay, so 97 is dedication of Maze Landing Road and right of way. Thanks everybody for putting that together. I want to thank Crystalline too, because this stuff, some of these things came in, they came in at or after an extended deadline. To the point where we didn't know if we were just gonna pull them. Even the quick presentation, they came in Friday with a presentation, submitted it. Thereafter, it's submitted, met with the planning board. And these guys were able to help and make sure that everything works, so we got that on there. 198 is Pierce Brook, just maintenance check, surety. 199 is Pierce Brook. 200 is what Jim spoke to us about, MRB, the MS4 assistance.
I did wanna say that the account line here is, it shouldn't be 8597. That's like the storm sewers or whatever. If it's MRB, which is an engineering expense, it should be 1440.
I think with that, he was pulling that out of because it's to help with the drainage and do for the storm sewers. I
Right.
think that's where he pulled that out of.
Yeah, he actually just said.
Okay.
Asked me to change it. to
Should-
that number.
Change it to the one that she had
The
said.
one that's,
What was there before? Oh, you don't know.
It could have been,
Like a XXX.
yeah.
Oh, okay. It should be 1440.
Is that consulting general with MRB
Engineering.
engineering? But this isn't. Let's check on that, because this isn't,
Doesn't look like engineering.
this is service for MS4 inspections, for
Okay.
the stormwater inspections, so I think
Okay.
he's
yeah,
right on
that's
that.
fine. Yeah, I got you.
201, Outhouse West Stormwater Mitigation. This is the work at Happiness House and up
Yeah, we'll be talking about those two.
tomorrow, right? With Kevin,
Yeah.
okay.
Kevin will be there too.
So are we taking that? Engineering what? So we're approving a proposal from MRB.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
14,350. Now, is that gonna come out of the July flooding capital project line? We're gonna charge that to FEMA or? hopefully
Yeah,
get
we should
FEMA
be able to
reimbursement?
try to get that back from FEMA. So I would include that in there.
Yeah,
201.
Yep.
201, we should
The other
need,
one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You good with that?
Yeah. that's fine.
202, this is our referral of the Cook project to the planning board to give an advisory opinion. And I think it's important because I don't know what kind of feedback we're gonna get. My feedback is positive, personal on the project. I think they've done an immense amount of work. That application that they submitted, they've done all of their background, they've done traffic studies, they've done air quality, they've done everything in there. I don't know if anybody's had a time to look through that yet. But they've met with county sewer, they've done their homework and done their preparation in addition with kind of seeing what we want as a town.
This is the 120 page.
This is the 420 pages,
Do we
yeah,
have that? I
yes.
mean, hopefully the executive summary.
Yes, they should be giving the executive summary. We didn't need all of that. That's their application and that's what they have to submit when they're ahead of the game right now. But there shouldn't be any questions about what the impact of what they're trying to do is.
But that has been sent to us. or-
Yes, I had it right in. I went in and pulled it up last night and I was reading it last night in
I
bed.
didn't look today.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you should have that in, it was in the agenda that was out yesterday. That was emailed out. The one that was like 690 pages.
Oh. I only looked at the 500.
No, you didn't look
I
far
know, I
enough.
pulled up the 297 page.
You didn't look far enough. So it's in there. I'll help you pull that up too, so you can make sure we have that.
It's gonna take many years to pull it off.
It is. It's gonna take a lot of spinning of that circle.
I can't sleep tonight, I'll pull it off.
Pull that up and see. Yeah, it helped me fall asleep last night. But I fully support it. I don't know what kind of public feedback there's gonna be. But I think in order to help, like we talked earlier, to keep things moving, it's important that this gets moved to the planning board for their advisory opinion. And to keep that rolling,
Yeah, definitely.
so they can meet their timeline with that. 203 is a surety written on
I'll have to recuse myself
from 203.
Yes.
Okay. Just when you do it, just state if you're involved, if you're working on it, just say I'm working on it or whatever to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's,
204. Is the consolidated funding application. For Ananda Park. I did receive requests for letters from the city for there too. So there are two applications for the water and all the other ones for the city only did one that I did a letter for. 205, there's a sign in the packet that the school district wants to put up. Because they're both in the town. They need to come to us, and civic signs are basically exempt, so they meet zoning codes. It just matches all the other signs that they've been putting up around. One will be, you know, the cat, they call it the cat, but the alternative high school that's near Parkside. And then a house up by the VA. And then 206 is the franchise agreement with Charter Spectrum. And I've had more questions about that, and I still have a hard time answering exactly why they need that franchise agreement. Other than it's required by the FCC. For them to, right, and then we have minutes to approve, payments of the bills are upstairs, if anybody needs them to review. Any questions on any parts? All right, hopefully it's pretty good to go. Any questions from anybody else? Crystal, you good?
I'm good.
Good.
Don't even.
Sue, hi, Jess, you good?
I'm good.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Cool.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned.